Hello, welcome once again to yet another tutorial video, proudly brought to you by my humble self, Edozi John Paul Uzoma. So in this video, I'm going to teach us how I made a dynamic sliding image frame using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So this is the finished product. The images on this site keeps changing by itself after 5 seconds. So I have 4 images here and they will keep rotating after 5 seconds. So this is the third image, this is the fourth image. So I'm going to teach us how I accomplish these tasks using JavaScript. So this is the code on line 18. I have the header tag over there. This is a new HTML tag brought to you by HTML5 version. So inside of this tag, I use JavaScript to dynamically inject the images, the different images which I labeled as from pix1 to pix4. So those are the images. I've already imported them into my Replix application. So let's start with the style sheet first. So in the style.css file, I have the dynamic sliding image in comments there on line 25. So I style the image and I style the image that is in the header tag on line 26. I gave it a width of 100%, a height of 400 pixels for short. So going over to the JavaScript, that's the script.js file, to explain what I did in the JavaScript. In the dynamic sliding image frame, right there in comment on line 13, that's where the code starts from. So I'll start on line 15, where I grabbed the header tag from the HTML. Remember, this is the header tag on line 18. So I'm grabbing it with my JavaScript. So I'm selecting it with my JavaScript using the variable header to store what is gotten from the HTML. Using document equation selector, I grab the header tag. So line 15 is all about grabbing the header tag from our HTML document and then storing it inside a variable which we called header. So I just kept the name the same to avoid confusion. On line 16, at this point I'm creating a new element, a new image element using the document.create element. So the element I want to create, the HTML element or HTML tag I wish to create is image tag. So the short form of image tag is img. So I'm creating the img tag using document.create element to create the image tag, and I'm storing it inside the img variable. That is line 16. So on line 17, I'm kind of like adding the created HTML, which is the image tag, into the header variable which we created on line 15. I'm adding it into it dynamically using the append method. So I say header.append the img variable. So that adds the image that I've created with JavaScript into the header tag dynamically. You see on line 19 here, I put a comment. JavaScript is going to dynamically add the image for us. So on line 18, the img tag requires a source attribute, and the source attribute requires value. So So the value is the images slash pics1.png. That is the name of the file that I want to be added to my source attribute. So I have to also set the attribute to my img tag, which I created on line 16. So that's why I said img.set attribute. First of all, I have to give the set attribute the attribute I wish to set to my img tag, which is source. SRC is short for source. And then I also have to state the value I want to be added into the attribute, the source attribute. So I put in the images slash pics1.png. So that creates the image for our first image, our pics1 image. Now the aim of this lesson is to dynamically add images at different points in time, after 5 seconds, to change the image at the current state of the application into another image. So let's say it's at image 4 now. Okay, it's at image 1 now. After 5 seconds, I want it to increment and add image 2, which is this beautiful looking image you have over here. How do I do that? First off, to do that, on line 19, I created a variable, I call it count, and I initialized it with a value of 1. So I made sure that count has the value of 1 at the present. Then I used a web API known as setInterval. SetInterval uses is a function, more like an inbuilt function that gets run. The function will run after a given time. So if you look at line 27, you see the time I gave it, the set interval. So the set interval is going to run the set interval function. The set interval is going to have a function that will run after 5 seconds. So that's 5,000 milliseconds. 5,000 milliseconds. So it's going to run after 5 seconds. Now this set interval takes in 2 parameters. The first parameter is the function, and the second parameter is the time. The time is going to the time duration that will kickstart the function. So in the function, on line 21, the first thing I want to do is to increment my count variable. So I use count plus plus. What this does is that it takes in the current value of count, which is 1, and then adds 1 to it, making it 2. So at each point, at the next time the function is going to run, it's going to add a new number. It's going to add 1 to my count, which will make it to be 2. So now I put a condition. I said on line 22, if count is greater than 4, so at the point where the function has run for the 4th time, I want to reset count value to 1. Now on line 25, I'm logging in the value of count into the console.log. I'm going to show you where the console.log is. Now this is where the console.log is. If I click on this spanner icon, you see the number of times the count has been logged into the console. So this is the 4th time, and after the fourth time, the image changes, and then at the 4th time, it's going to now reset count back to 1, bringing it back to the first image. So I'm going to show us how that works back in the code. Now on line 26, I'm also using that image img.set attribute once again, that takes into 2 parameters, the attribute and the value. So the attribute is source, and the value this time around is images slash pics $curly bracket count. Now I didn't hard code the value of my pics, right? Last time I said pics should be 1. I said the value should be pics1. But this time around, I want the value to be the dynamic value that count has at every point in time, and different points in time. So count will be 1 at a given point. After 5 seconds, it will be 2. After another 5 seconds, it will be 3. After another 5 seconds. So at that point where count changes value, it's going to change the image that is going to be shown. So that is that, my friends, for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Any question you have, you can simply leave it in the comment section below. I'll be really glad to answer it. So from till next time, I remain my humble self. It is John Paul Uzoma, and I would say bye.